Hi, you are welcome. On this channel, I share real-life experiences and offer real-life insights on how to walk through certain real-life challenges. I am Theodora, and today I'll be sharing on how you can be able to walk through depression, anxiety, or worry. I am not a therapist, counselor, or psychologist, but I share some of these insights based on my personal experiences and from the interactions that I've had. So what is depression? I could define depression as a mental disorder that affects the way you act, the way that you would normally act, maybe the way you speak, the way you relate to others. Generally, it affects your normal well-being. And it is characterized by deep sadness, loss of appetite, or you eat too much. Sometimes it can also make you pace around or fidget with your hands, or sometimes speak to yourself. It can also cause loss of sleep. It can also cause paranoia. Some people, you cry for no reason, or you cannot be able to point out exactly what is making you cry or what is making you sad. Anxiety, I could say all of us have experienced it at one point or the other. Maybe when you're going for that feeling you have when you're going to have an interview, do something unfamiliar. But for anxiety to be a problem, it's when it goes to the extremes, whereby you become very restless. You cannot control yourself. You have a very high heart rate. You're sweating and it's continuous. Or sometimes you can also be thrown into panic. In my lifetime, I've had several series or episodes of depression. I could say that sometime maybe earlier on in my life it happened and I even didn't know it was actually depression. It was now that I grew up, and then with these days the continuous awareness on depression, on mental health, and that's how I also got to know that actually I experienced several episodes of depression and I did not know. Usually, to overcome or to walk through depression, anxiety, or worry, one has to reflect back on the root cause, because I could say some of the signs of depression or anxiety or what, sometimes it's connected, sometimes not always, sometimes it's connected to an underlying problem. For instance, depression, anxiety, worry can be caused by trauma. If you experience trauma in your life, for example, myself, I had several episodes of depression because of the trauma that I experienced during my childhood. After the death of my dad, the experiences I went through were so traumatic to my life that I kept having episodes of depression as a result of it. Depression can also be triggered by loss of a job, challenges in a relationship, or divorce, or loss of a job, the work stress, or debt, or financial challenges. So to walk through depression, one must be able to identify what is the root cause of this and address it. Because if it's not addressed, you will keep having relapses into depression. And it is also very important to seek professional help from a counselor, therapist, or psychologist to be able to help you walk through the different levels, and then you come to be able to identify what you're struggling with in terms of depression, and help you be able to address the root cause. I would say it's important to address the root cause in depression, because if you don't, you end up taking depression medications, and then it will keep coming back every now and then. So how did I overcome, or how did I walk through the several episodes of depression that I went through? The first one for me was through prayer. Recently, or over the years, it has been scientifically proven that prayer has a great positive impact on depression, anxiety, and worry. And recently also with the pandemic, the COVID pandemic that has just passed, many people have testified, and also from the research that has been carried out, many people pointed out that prayer helped them through the episodes of depression they were going through as a result of the pandemic. So it's very important to be able to pray. And then the other one is praying for one another, intercessory prayers. It is very important, also based on research and on the Christian teachings. Praying for one another has a great impact in fostering healing towards reducing depression, anxiety, or worry. Other one is make meaningful relationships or make meaningful friendships. Have at least 1 or 2 friends that you can count on, that in the time when you're falling through depression or you feel you're not yourself, you can be able to talk to them, you can be able to contact them, and then they will be able to walk with you, they'll be able to advise you, they'll be able to judge the situations and offer the best guidance they can. Or they can even be able to pick up some of these signs before they go to the advanced stages, and then you can be able to be helped. And because currently depression, anxiety, or mental health challenges have increased so much over the years, so it's important to have a circle of friends who will be able to support you, because it can be anyone. I would also suggest that you incorporate gardening in your schedule. Plants just have a certain, or I could say that nature has a certain unspoken healing effect. So, for instance, you can start by putting some plants in your house. It's going to make your house feel peaceful. When you also take care of your plants, it has a certain healing effect on you. For instance, if you have a number of them, it takes your mind out of whatever is stressing you out. It just has, as I said before, it has an unspoken healing in it. For me, gardening has been a very important part of my life, and it has helped me through a series of things in my life, or a series of challenges, walking through grief, walking through depression. You could also think about getting a pet, getting a dog, a cat, fish. Yeah, just to have them around. Especially if you are living alone, it gives you company. And then I could say, like, for the dogs, they're very intelligent animals. It's good to get like a young one so that you can bond with it over time. You can also start exercising. Exercise is a very good way of walking through depression. It will keep you mentally fit. It will also keep you physically fit. Just go and interact with nature. You will find nature has such an amazing power of healing. Just going in nature, you feel better. Or if it's possible, you can also plan for a vacation or take a trip, change, move away from your normal routine to get something, to get you into a new area so that you can think things over. I could say these are ways that you can cope through the depression, but the most important one of all is to seek professional help to point out what the root cause of the depression, anxiety, or worry is, and then you can be able to deal with it. Because if you do not deal with the root cause of the depression, it's just going to keep coming and it will stress you up, and then it will take you to different levels of depression, of which some of them are very, very life-threatening. Some of them you do not have to reach that point. So I encourage that if you're experiencing depression or you feel you are having some signs of depression, please seek professional help. And lastly, if there is something that you cannot change about a situation, do not brood so much over it. Look for the possibilities of what can be changed in a situation, and then work towards changing that. And do not mentally strain yourself on the things that you have no control on. Work to a point of accepting the things you cannot control. For instance, for me, I struggled a lot with depression as a result of unprocessed grief, as a result of my dad's death, that I came to realize later on in life that I was having these episodes of anxiety, depression, worry, and struggling to be able to control my emotions, just because I had not dealt with the root cause, was accepting the challenges that came in as a result of my father's death, and also accepting that my dad has died. He's never going to come back. That is in the past. But what I can work on now is my future, is my present, to make sure that I live life the way I should. But it's not as easy as I'm saying. It takes a lot of building, a lot of things underneath to reach that point. It took me 15 years after my father's passing on to be able to face the root causes of the many challenges that I was facing that always threw me back to depression. All I can say, there is hope. Please seek help. Do not stay alone. There is always help. Talk to a friend. Seek professional help. Till next time, thank you for joining me on this topic of walking through depression, anxiety, and worry. Thank you very much.